Welcome back to Wet England, and today we're going to do a few more modifications on the Honda Monkey. In the last video we fitted the new heavy duty luggage rack so that we could fit the top box. We both got them off Marketplace on Facebook, and this luggage rack just isn't up to the standard that I want. The plan is to put about 35 kilograms worth of weight on the back of this rack, and even at 15 kilograms it's going to be a struggle. It's perfect if you're just going on a little adventure, putting a tent on there or a little day bag, but for what we need, a long adventure carrying what we need to carry, this just isn't suitable enough. So the plan is we're going to take the old rack that I took off. It's not the best made, it's brazed, but it's just much stronger. All the braze joints, I'm not too happy about them, but the only way we're going to increase the luggage carrying capacity of this is to add some supports. So me being an engineer, I have got laying around some of these M10 pipe clamps, and we're going to clamp these on like this, and then we're going to get some M10 rod. We're going to bend this up so that we create a nice little curve, and we're going to attach it to there. That should, I'd like to think, offer us maybe another 15 kilograms worth of weight carrying. So we're going to bend them out. I'll show you how to do that today. And then also we did snap the front shock guard. So here it is, the lovely ABS sign. That's totally badged now, we can't use that. So we've had our mate Julian Best, you'll find him on Facebook in a lot of the monkey groups. He's created these custom made Honda shock guards, so we'll stick them on too as well. They're nice and easy, but have a quick look at them. They're only 35 quid, absolutely lovely, and they're not going to snap going forward. So the plan is now, let's get the old rack off and get that new one fitted with the new supports on it. So that's the old rack off now. It is starting to rain, surprise surprise. So we're just going to put the seat back on, just hopefully let this rain just pass a bit, and then we'll come back to it. So the rain started coming down now, so I thought I'd treat you to the inside of my garage. It's not much, but it is mine. It's where I keep my bikes and everything like that. So I'm just going to show you the plan with this. The easiest way to start is if we just get a slight bend on it, and then we can marry it up with the rack and just see the actual angle we need. So to bend the bar, I'm just going to use a set of grips. If you've got a good bit of strength in you, then it shouldn't be much of a problem. These M10 bars are quite hard to bend, but if we just get a tiny little kink on the end, we can then just alter it as we go along. So these bars are a bit hard to bend, to be honest. I've done a bit now, but my pipe benders, my little ones are snapped trying to do it. I didn't realise how strong these ones are. So we've just gone to the second method, which is find something we can wedge it in and then just put our weight on it. And I'll show you what I found. But yeah, this is my woodland behind my house. We just had a deer here yesterday. I'll show you a video of that in a second. But there's no deers here today. So we don't have problems, we have solutions, and all I've done is find these metal poles in my garden, put it in there, and then I've just put a bit of weight on it, and then we've, you know, there we go, we've got a bit of a bend, and that's how we're bending these pieces of metal. So now we've put a little bend on that, it's time just to marry it up and just see where it actually fits. So the plan is to go from this corner here down to this corner here on the bar. So the plan would be it'll sit hopefully like that. We're not doing too bad actually, I think we're pretty much bang on almost. We just need to put a bit more of a bend on it, and then it should fit absolutely fine. I'll just put a little bit more of a bend on it, and then we'll see how we get on with this one then. So we just put a little bit more of a bend on it, and we're gonna have to trim a bit off the top anyway, that's the plan, but it seems to fit absolutely fine, as you can see. So we'll cut it down along the top there, stick on our 10mm pipe clamp, and we should be good to go. And then once we've done that, we'll measure it again and we'll cut it down there, and hopefully that then is going to create a solid brace, because that's the weak part. The weak part's right there between there. So yeah, let's crack on with that. We've just sawn the end of that off. As you can see, we've only taken about that much off there, but we should now be able to roll these on. We'll skip to the time lapse. Then we're going to wrap this clip around this end here. We'll give that a bit of a tighten up with a screwdriver. I'll show you how it should look. I will probably put these screws on the other way around, so if I do need to access it, I can always tighten it up from the bottom then. And then if I ever need to remove it, it's easy enough to remove. So now they're tightening up. Like that. This bar then, as you can see, fits to that. So all the weight, when it pushes onto that, like down there, it should just force it onto that bar, so it'll transfer the weight along this bar, so we're not just relying on this little joint there. If these were, suppose if they just built another bracket to go down to there off there, that would be a lot stronger. It's just that lever effect. Once you've got the weight on and the lever gets it, so I want this bar to force all the weight onto that one there, kind of propping itself up. So we the plan is now I'll cut this bar a bit shorter here. I'll stick another one of these pipe, what are they called now, rubber lined Euro clips. These are the 15mm ones, and they're M10s. And once I've done that, I'll fasten it up and I'll show you how it all looks. So I've got a little bit of a slight concern. If I was to fit this on there as so, these clips, as you can see, are probably going to be in the way of the pipe above it, and also the chrome fender here behind it. So we might have to put a bend on it, make it a bit shorter, and we're going to connect it to this bottom bit. I've just had a look at the bike, and we might have just flagged up our first problem with this. So if we were to attach it to this part here, this sits underneath the there's a bar which runs along here, and this just screws in generally. But the problem we've got is these clips extend outwards, so this clip here at the top, that will hit the bar above it, and then this also will probably scrape along the fender, so there's no way to mount it. So the idea now, I think I'll do, is I'll put another bend on here, and then we'll attach it to that bottom bit there, and then that's still going to give us that extra strength, because it'll still be pushing it onto that bar there, which should then send it straight down to the shock. Ideally it would be better doing it there. You know, if I could be bothered, if I had more skill, I probably would braze it onto there. But it's yeah, just so another little bend there, shorten the bar a little bit, and then we'll attach it to that, and it should be, you know, pretty solid, I'd like to think anyway. And there we have it. That's the first one done. So that's my vision come alive. So as you can see, we've just put all the weight onto that, so if it does start to bend, it'll push into this bottom bar, so there's going to be no flex in that, because we've just bypassed the weak part of the rack itself. So as you see, it's just screwed on that bit there, and it's also screwed on there as well. I'm going to see if I can just turn this a little bit more, but it's not a problem because it's pretty much flush with it anyway, and we're not expecting anything to look fantastic. We're doing this mainly just for practical purposes. So when I've got all my top box on there, and I've got a big bag, maybe 20 kilograms in there, full of clothes and food and everything like that, because I'm hoping to take this bike maybe away for a week or something, and I'd rather not stop everywhere we go. So if we can take everything with us, we can go to more of the remote areas. So yeah, that's the first side done. That's taken me about an hour, but it always takes longer to do the first one than it will do the second one. So I'm going to take this apart now. I'm just going to copy this one like for like, and then I'm going to put the other one on, and we'll see how we get on from there. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with that so far. I've just knocked up the second one now, so they're pretty much bang on in every dimension possible. So we're just going to screw them up, see how they fit on the rack. I have just gone back and just double checked everything, and where the lights come out at the back there, we're probably going to hopefully be able to hook these underneath, so that the bars come all the way up there, and the lights can just come through that gap there. but if they don't, we've just wasted about an hour. But yeah, knocking up this second one only took about 5 minutes. Once you got the dimensions, it's easy enough to do. So there we have it. That's how it looks from the bottom end to the top. We'll give it a turn, and you can see the two pipes coming down here. Now we've got a side-on view. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that so far. My only worry is the lights now. I might not have made enough kind of room here for them to come through. So worst case scenario is I'm gonna have to just redo it again. But the whole point of these angles was it creates a bit more of a downwards force directly onto that. Even if I had a bend, like if I came across here, did a full 90-degree angle, it still wouldn't be that bad, don't get me wrong, but I think this angle itself is actually digging down deeper into the pipe, so we will be able to carry a lot more weight just with this angle compared to if we just had a 90-degree bend. But right, moment of truth, let's see how we get on. Just want to show you how well one of these has gone on so far. So as you can see, it's just gone under the light there, but there's just the slightest gap in that. But what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to try and bend that rack down the slightest little bit. This side here, I don't know what I've got on with here, but I just need to put another little bend in about halfway, I think, just to give it that little oomph. Or maybe even just bend it down at this side a little bit. But yeah, this is the only one that's causing an issue, but yeah, it's not a problem whatsoever. To be fair, you probably could have just taken a bar from there all the way across to that bit as well. That would have worked quite well, just a little kink off that bit and up. But yeah, well, let's just work with this. And here we have it. We managed to get both of them on, as you can see from this angle. It goes down and there, and that's just taking out all that weak patch there. Be easy to see it from this side. But yes, if I hold this steady here and put a bit of weight on it, it's much more stable than it has been previously. So I reckon I could probably sit on that and it's not going anywhere. Look at that. So that's the cheap way of increasing the carrying capacity of your luggage rack. It is a bit close to these lights though, but once I've got some weight on it, it creates just a little bit of a gap with the flex that's in it. But I'm not too worried because there's still a bit of movement in them, and I don't think they're going to go anywhere because that's going to be sturdy, that. But yeah, happy days. Why are English people always obsessed with the weather? Well, I'll tell you, look at it now, the sun's coming out. We've had this morning, we've had it been cold, it's been windy and cloudy. Then we've had rain, it's been quite heavily here. And now the clouds have all disappeared, and look, you can see the sun's coming out and it's bright. If I stand in the sunlight, it's warm. So this is why English people always complain about the weather, because you don't know what the hell it's going to do. The weather forecast is always wrong, and we're all desperate for summer. So yeah. We've fitted the rack, and we've now just put the bottom of the top box on there, and I think there's kind of only one way to test it as such, so let's put some weight on it, shall we? So I weighed myself at the gym this morning, and I was 12 stone 7, so let's see how much it can hold, shall we? I've not done this yet, so I could fall flat on my face from those. But 4 feet off the ground. So if that can hold 12 stone 7, I think that's a job well done, to be honest now. So I've got no reservations about putting that top box on, and then also loading it up with a bag on top of that as well. So yeah, happy days here. I'm just going to throw on the new fork guards, and I'll show you them in a second. But yeah, I think that's been an absolute winner today. I also possibly should mention where I got the bits from. If you're in the UK, there's a great shop called Tool Station, and you can get a bag of them rings. They can be called Munson clips, or you can just get 15mm pipe clips, but you want the ones with the rubber on them as well, because it'll just give that extra grip and it creates that little gap. It depends on the size of the pipe work on your rack. Mine's an odd one, it's from China, it's about 13mm, so then little bits of rubber just add to it. The actual threaded pipe you can get, well, the threaded rod, you can get that from Tool Station as well. I think altogether I might have just spent maybe £6 on absolutely everything. I think the rod was only about £1.50, and the bag was about maybe £3 or something. So yeah, happy days. Get yourself to Tool Station. And here are the new fork guards. They're a little bit bigger here than they are on the other ones, but they just look nice, don't they? So as long as I don't get a fatter tyre, I should be alright. Yeah, that's the bespoke Honda Monkey front guards made by Julian Best. Hunted him down on one of Facebook groups. He's in the UK, I don't think he'll ship abroad, but he's also done me a chain guard in the past. And have a look at this. So this is the chain guard that he made me as well. So yeah, cheers for that, Julian, appreciate it. So there we have it. We've increased the carrying capacity of this Honda Monkey once again. We've gone back to the old luggage rack. We've spent about £5 on just increasing it to a lot. Like you saw me then, I could just put my full body weight, which is 12.7 stone, on the back of that, and it wasn't going anywhere. So I've got no problem now with filling this bag up with absolutely, well, I can fill it up with bricks, I think, and then we'll attach it to the top of there, and then as we go travelling, that's just going to add to it. You can buy another bag to stick on top of there, but I think that's going to be too high in the end. So the idea is saddlebags, the rack, and then we're going to have the top box, and then we'll just stick the bag on the top. And we've got more than enough luggage capacity now for us to go with for quite some time. We've got the H2C rack on the front. That's where the tent will go and will always go. It's just perfectly fitted for that. But yeah. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comments below. But like I said, everything was from Tool Station. It was £5 roughly. And yeah, I hope you copy this if you need to, because it's just stupid not to, really.